Okay, so, right, but will I get my money back? Really? I have been ripped off, scammed. I've had money taken from me, and this is kind of a new one. I didn't see this coming, and I almost missed it. So I'm pretty across all the scams and everything that goes on here. You know, I've made videos about it before, but this one caught me completely off guard, and I've never even heard of this one before, and I almost missed it, honestly. So at the moment, I'm just out for a walk along Beach Road. I'm waiting for the company involved to get back to me so I can find out what's happening and if I'm getting my money back or not. So come along for the walk with me, and I'll bring you up to speed on my eventful starts of the day. So this morning I was going through my emails, I was going through my deleted emails actually, and stumbled across an email that really took me by surprise. It was from booking.com, and it was an email, it was a receipt basically for a hotel that I'd stayed in, but it wasn't for the ordinary payment, it was for a no-show. So what happened was I came here and I stayed in a hotel, or actually it was more like a sort of serviced apartments, and when I was coming to check in, I had to call someone and they came and met me outside to give me the keys, and I had to pay them cash. So I'd asked them at the time, I said, can I use my credit card that I used to make the booking? And they said, no, you have to pay us cash here. And I was like, okay, whatever, no big deal. Paid the cash, got the room, stayed in there, and everything was all as normal. So what happened then is they obviously haven't checked me in properly, and they've listed me as a no-show. And if you no-show and you don't give enough notice, then they charge you the full amount for the period of your stay. So I was essentially double charged, even though I stayed there and everything was all as normal. Because they listed me as a no-show, I had to pay that fee again. So after seeing that email, I dug through some of my other emails, and I found that they'd sent me a notification saying, did you stay in the hotel or were you a no-show? And I'd obviously just deleted it. So I spend half my life in hotels, and I get a ton of emails from booking.com. Every time I book a hotel, you get a confirmation email, you get a receipt email, and then you get a one afterwards to review your stay. And being how often I stay in hotels, I'm getting them all the time, and I just don't really pay attention, and I just kind of delete them all, and that's how this one slipped through the cracks for me. So just to clarify, it's not booking.com that's scamming me, it's the people involved, the hotel or the service departments that I stayed in that are doing it. And I don't know if this is a thing they do regularly, but it's something I'm gonna have to be more aware of if I'm in a weird situation where they want me to pay cash up front. So I went back into my bank statement and checked, and they'd charged me 6,000 baht, it was 2,000 baht a night for 3 nights, and they'd taken the payment, and I obviously just hadn't realized that. I don't really dig through my bank that often, and if I did see it, it'd just look normal to me anyway, like a hotel payment. So that's how this one can really easily slip through the cracks, because it doesn't jump out at you when you look at a bank statement. So I just happened to remember that I paid cash because it was a kind of weird interaction when I checked in, but obviously this is a thing that they do, and they probably get away with more often than you'd think. So booking.com have been amazing, they're super helpful with this. I'm like a diamond platinum member or whatever because I stay in hotels so often, so they've been super helpful to me. I called them up and explained the story, and they said, yeah, we'll look into it, we'll contact the hotel. The thing is, like, they asked me, like, do you have a receipt or anything? I was like, no, I don't, because I paid cash, and I just figured, like, that's it, it's done. And even if I did get a receipt, like, I don't keep them. So that's, yeah, I don't know if it's gonna make it at all challenging, because if the hotel denies it and say, like, no, he didn't come, then I don't know whose side they take in that situation. I would like to think that being a platinum member and everything, that they'll take my side, but I really don't know what to expect. So for now, there's not a whole lot I can do. I just have to wait. They're gonna call me back. So I'm gonna go meet a mate now. We're gonna go grab something to eat, maybe have a beer, and wait this thing out, and I'll keep you updated with what happens. What's up, man?
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good, man. You good?
Good, I'm good. Well, not really.
Story of my life.
So I was just telling Ian about what's happened to me, and he hasn't heard about it before. You haven't heard about it, right?
No, yeah, it's definitely a first for me.
Yeah, but he was telling me a really interesting one around booking an Airbnb. You want to share the story?
Yeah, so one thing that I figured out when I got here, found it out the hard way, unfortunately, a lot of like third-party booking sites. So when you go, if you're booking, especially long-term, if you're going to be there for more than a few weeks, if it's like condos and things like that, you're going to end up having to pay electric. And the first place that I stayed at, I actually ended up, I think I read on a blog or somewhere that you should always check for what the building pays, like electric wise. So the way it works in Thailand is you pay, they call them like per units. So you spend so many units a month, and then there's a certain price set for each unit when it comes to electricity. And anywhere you stay, you can look up the building, because that's where they set the price. The entire building pays the same price for electric. So you can look that up and make sure when you're paying for electric through your Airbnb or whoever you're renting from, that they're not charging you more than that. When I was staying at a place, it was 4 or 5, I think it was like 4 or 5 baht per unit, something like that. And the lady ended up trying to charge me like triple that. So what I paid for rent ended up being, you know, a quarter of what they were trying to charge me for electricity.
And it's, ridiculous amounts.
Ridiculous.
Too. I had that though, my first time I came out here, stayed in an Airbnb, a very similar thing. Like they hit me with the electric bill at the end, and I was like, holy shit, like how is it so much? And now
3 times as much as the rent.
It was like 15 baht per unit.
Which is just wild.
Yeah, I paid 3.
Yeah, going rate's like 3 to 6 baht usually, depending on where you're at. So yeah, that's definitely something to check out, and just make sure that you're not getting taxed extra on top of what you should actually be paying.
And yeah, so what did they say? Really? Yeah. No, like, well, does that happen often? Okay, awesome. No, thank you so much. That's great. Thank you. Oh, no, I wanted to ask something. Can I, like, report them for this? Like, this is a scam, right? Right. All right, so I just got off the phone with booking.com. They were amazing. They were so helpful through all this. What happened was they contacted the apartments, the place, and they asked them basically their side of the story, and shocking, they denied it. They said, no, we have on our records that he didn't show up. So I asked them, I said, is this like a regular scam or a thing that happens? And they said, yes, it is. So I actually reported them for that. You know, if it was a simple misunderstanding, then like I'm cool with it. But if they, like, it's a scam, they're trying to rip people off, and it almost got me. If I hadn't looked through my like deleted emails, I wouldn't have seen it. I would have had absolutely no idea, and I would have been out of pocket 6,000 baht. So the people at booking.com said they're going to honor what I say because I'm a platinum member, and I guess they take my word over the hotel. But they said it is a common scam that happens and something you need to be aware of. So don't delete all your booking.com emails like I do. As soon as I see them, I'm always just like delete. But I won't be in the future. I'll be when I look back, it says in the title, like, did you stay or did you no show for this hotel? And I just I didn't read the like the subject line of the emails. I just delete them every time. So I'll be paying more attention from now on.